Okay, so I saw from the different comments and DMs I got today that people still are not very clear as to how the financial markets work and how they can accumulate generational wealth from the financial market. I also find it extremely disturbing, very concerning that there are people in their 30s who do not have a single asset in the financial market. They have nothing in the financial market. I think it's very disturbing. And which does not surprise me because I went through school, through primary, secondary, university, postgraduate school, and not once did anyone tell me about the financial markets. I even offered economics in um, in secondary school. And of course, it was just theory to pass exam, but it wasn't actually brought life, to me in such a way that I could see how important economics is in the life of everyone. And so because people have not mastered these economic skills, we graduate from the university and people are staying home 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Some people even 10 years, and they are looking for someone to employ them. Why? Because throughout school, we were prepared for only one type of market. We were prepared for only one type of market because all they told us was, as we were going back to school, our parents, our teachers, everyone in the community, make sure you make first class, come first in your class, do your assignments, work very well, come first, come out with a good degree. And then we were so degree focused, especially in this part of the world. Africans, and I hear it's also very bad in India, are so certificate focused that people would even sell their souls to pass an exam. People, young women, could do certain things to compromise and then get marks. And then people buy marks and all that. So they now come out of the university with a glowing first class degree, second class upper degree, and they are touting all those beautiful certificates. But then they get into the labor market, which is the only market that they were prepared for, which was the only market that they were prepared for. And this is the most difficult, more extremely difficult type of market, the labor market. It's so saturated, always oversaturated, so much so. If I put up an application today that I'm looking for secretary, I am not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get 5,000 people, 5,000 people applying. And this happened a couple of times in this country where somebody advertised in the newspaper, government, I think it was customs, advertised in the newspaper. I don't know how many thousands of people, whether it was like 700,000 people, one insane number went and they were looking for just a few hundreds. And then in the process, there was stampede in the stadium and people were killed, including a pregnant woman. That is how bloody the labor market is. That is how red, if you've read about the blue ocean, red ocean, that's how red, because everyone who goes through school, most people, I would say 99.9% of people who go through the school system come out and enter the labor market. You have only like 0.1 who decide to go into entrepreneurship. So it's not uncommon to find people who are 30 years old and they do not have a single stock. And they do not even know what the stock market is. From the questions I'm getting and the things I'm getting, and the comments I'm getting, people have zero idea. And these are parents, these are people in their 40s. And I can just imagine someone 40 and you don't have a portfolio, 50 and you don't have a portfolio in the financial markets. Because one of the saddest things about the labor market is that, you're a doctor you're doing well, earning very good salary. But guess what? When you die, what happens? That salary is not going to be passed on to your, it's not going to be passed on to your children. It's not going to be passed on to your children. That's the funny thing about the labor market. You're a director in one organization, you're a manager somewhere. Okay. And then you die. I have a very dear friend, you know, who was earning so well in the profession. And then sadly, this person passed away. And the family can't get that same earning. That's it. It's gone. That's it. It's gone. So labor market is not the only market. And I see, I want this to, everybody pause, type it. I want to give you five seconds. Type it. Because see, when I ask you to type this thing, it's because I really want you to get into your nervous system. Okay? And I'm trying to rewire mindset. No one is talking about this thing in the space, at least no one that I know. So type it. Labor market is not the only market. So when you come out and then nobody employs you, that's not the end of the world. That's just one market. There are 3 other markets. Type it. Labor market is not the only market. Labor market is not the only market. This is what the school system did to us. And this is also what we are doing to our children, and what we are allowing the school system to do to our children. And for you parents listening to me here, you've got to change it. You've got to change it. Work with the school. Work with the school to introduce your children very early to all these other markets. Let them know about the financial markets. You know, I had to open stockbroking accounts for my children when they were like under 5 years old, under 6 years old. So get that thing in their consciousness. I had to open bank accounts for them, savings account, not because they could use it until they were 18. I don't know if they've changed that legislation. But I wanted that consciousness to start getting into them. I wanted the consciousness to start getting into them. So if you're a parent here and your child is 2 years old, 2 months old, 1 year old, 7-year-old, please open a savings account for this child and start teaching the child about saving. When their uncle visits and then gives them a little money, tell them to go, let them go and save that money themselves. I made my children go to the bank. Let them get familiar. Because how can somebody graduate from the university like I did? I graduated at 22. 1988, 22, 22 and a couple of months. And I had no idea what the stock market was. I was working with Shell. I didn't know anything about the stock market. I didn't know anything about real estate. I was just a professional, well-trained, had excellent degree. Guys, I wish you really understand why this thing, why the school system, what it has done to you, and why you need to rewire. That's what I'm trying to do through this free coaching. Just rewire your mindset. Just change it. Okay, so you have financial markets. Financial market is where capital and assets are exchanged. You know, I saw a post today. Somebody had, maybe that post was, he was flexing and showed a picture of where he said that beans, the price of beans came down, and then he stocked. He bought thousands, so he mopped it up, and then he showed his massive store where he put beans and a couple of other grains. And then some people went online and they were cursing him. Oh, you people are the ones causing food prices to go up. And then they were cursing him and all that. And then he say, God will disappoint you and things like that. I can understand the feeling. I can understand that feeling. But you see, it's people who are in the labor market that are speaking like this. Because you have what you call commodity trading. And it happens to you. It affects your life every day. People are buying futures of oil. Oil is being traded. The wheat that they used to make your bread, they are all being traded. All those grains, they're all being traded. And basically, people just find opportunities where they can buy, like what's happening. The guy was explaining that what's going on right now in northern Nigeria is that the farmers, there's a glut in the market because the farmers are offloading and making all kinds of effort to sell their grains so that they could have money to travel to perform the Hajj. And it makes sense. So the guy, so you might be cursing him, but the guy is a financial wizard. He's doing commodity trading. He's using his asset. Because he has the money. If you had the money, you probably would do the same thing. So he's taking advantage. Now that the prices, the things have flooded the market and the prices came down, he buys. When they come back from Hajj, it's not going to be the same price again. And then he sells. So it's a financial market. He's doing you no wrong. Okay, he's deploying capital. And then assets and capital are being changed. So the guys are selling the commodities, the beans, the rice, the grains, because they need money to go perform the Hajj. And the guy has the money. So there's an exchange. And then he can't, so he's putting his money to work. And because it's not US aid, he's not, what do they call them? It's not World Bank. All these people, you know, who do all these funny NGO things. His capital has to produce for him. So these are financial markets. That's also where you have stocks. Stocks are sold and bought. Stocks of companies, shares of companies. That's where you have currencies are being traded every day. Okay, so those are the financial markets. And then what I need you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is my thinking. This is just my observation. I don't know what the textbooks say, and I don't know what your own experience is. But the financial market, I would say, is like where 95% of the wealth in this world is traded. That's also where over 95% of the wealth in this world is made. So the labor market, product market, resource market, they are just struggling for a tiny percent. So anytime you hear, oh, Elon Musk is worth 400 billion, Bill Gates is worth this, and it's financial markets. All those things are held in as capital in the financial markets. That's why it is. You hear Warren Buffett is very, very rich. What is the financial markets? So Elon Musk is not keeping 400 billion naira cash in his bedroom, or $400 billion cash in his bedroom. No, he's not doing that. Those are capital assets, the stock market. So you go to Tesla. That's why when Donald Trump won, some billionaires made a lot of money. I think they said people made like over 100 billion or something because their stock prices went up and their net worth went up. So it's financial markets. And then because all the other markets are interconnected with the financial markets, because the labor market, the people who pay you, the company that pays you is probably quoted in the stock market. If they are not quoted in the stock market, they bank with banks. They bank with banks. They take facilities from the banks. They put their money in the banks. They do fixed deposits. They invest in treasury bills or in something, in money market instruments. They do it. So even the labor market depends on the financial market. The same thing with the product markets. That's where finished goods and services are exchanged. And then you have resource markets where raw materials and resources are traded. So if you come out of the university, for goodness sake, and you don't have job, or somebody is insulting you by offering you a graduate a job for $62 a month, My goodness, that's an abuse of the human spirit. And $62, 60 something dollars, that's 100,000 naira. And I hear that over 70% of people working in Lagos earn 100,000 naira or less. That is an abuse. You spent 18 years in the classroom only to come out to be paid $60 a month. Why? Because you're limiting yourself to the labor market. There are the financial markets where you can play. There are the product markets, finished goods, where you can do a lot of things, arbitrage, affiliate, all kinds of things. Then there are the resource markets where the raw materials happen. Is this helping someone? Okay. All right. Any questions? So let me pause and take questions. And then if you want to speak or say something, raise your hand on Zoom. And then I can. So I need some feedback before we continue. How is this going? Are you finding value? Are you finding value? What do you understand by the things I'm saying? What's your aha moment? So we don't have to wait until the end. What's occurring to you? So I need some feedback. And then if you have questions or if you have comments, type it or raise your hand and then I'll have you speak. So I want to make sure that we are in order. Okay. I don't see any hand raised in Zoom, but I can stop sharing my screen to see. But I need some kind of feedback, okay? Is this helping somebody? Is this making sense? What do you think? Talk to me, somebody. Okay. So there's a question here. What are the best financial routes for an academic? There is, the principles are the same, okay? Whether you're actually an academic or you are a professional like the doctor I was speaking with, before we started. The first thing, the very first step to financial freedom is saving. That's the very first thing. The journey to financial freedom begins with saving. That is the very first step. Because if you can't save, you can't move into the next stage, to the next step. So the first step is to earn income. You've got to find a way to earn income. And then as you're earning income, you are not spending everything that you are earning. You've got to save money. Now, as an academic, whatever they pay you, you save some bit of it. And then the second step is to start investing. And that will encourage you to start investing in the stock market. Or if you are starting, I think a lot of people, the bonds and mutual funds and treasury bills are very low risk. I don't do those, maybe because over time, I have understood the stock market fairly better to be able to do better than the indices, myself. And then again, I'm doing long term. So you start saving. And then from saving, you open an investment account. In fact, the way I save, I don't put money in the bank. I don't leave money in the bank. I put whatever money I'm saving, I save it directly into my investment account. So as an academic, first thing is to free cash flow, to get some cash that is free, that is available to invest. So you start investing in the stock market, you pick some growth stock because somebody bought Presco at 10 naira. I think I heard 5 years ago, during the pandemic of 2020, there was panic selling of stocks, so many stock prices fell. This person bought 1 million of it. I think he said he bought at 10 naira. So that was 10 million invested 5 years ago. Today, as of today, Presco has gone to 800 and something. I think it's 813 naira. that same 1 million shares that he bought is now worth 800 and something million in 5 years. So as an academic, you want to look long-term, consider long-term. All right. So you're not buying and selling. Just continue to accumulate blue chip stocks, very, very solid stocks, companies, not companies that you're not sure of. So you can say, all right, like a company like MTN is good. I'm buying MTN. A company like GT Bank is very good. A company like Zenith is very, very good. I'm buying up on those, and I'm spotting some new opportunities, which I said I could mention to you today. There's some new opportunities. Like right now, Dangote Sugar is an opportunity. Remember, I said that the secret to the market, to succeeding in the market, is finding an opportunity to enter the market long before everybody else even gets to know what is going on. That was why when I spotted Presco late last year, how did I spot them? These people have made some incredible moves. They've invested in Ghana. They are expanding like crazy. They are also in the line of business that I got into, and I know that like palm oil is gold. Palm oil, palm kernel oil, they are gold. Okay, and then a professor recently wrote something on LinkedIn and said that it's actually the new Bitcoin. And that's the businesses people are doing. Not only that, their results were incredible. They did so well. Their financials were good. So you see, business is growing. They are in a line of business that is like an evergreen market. They are expanding their business. And at the same time, their revenues were great. I looked at these things. I said, whoa, great opportunity. And then I said to you guys, buy. Some people bought 400 and something. So now by today, the thing is doubling. And this is under 5 weeks. Under 5 weeks, the thing is doing like 80% when it started rallying. But you see, people did not spot it. Not everybody spotted it at that time. So in the same way, I'm seeing Dangote Sugar. I'm studying it. In fact, I started accumulating that today. Why? One of the things that triggered my interest in Dangote Sugar was a conference that happened in Ogun State a couple of days ago, and Dangote revealed in that place that they are putting in $700 million investment to start producing sugar in this country and never to import it. In other words, what he did to the refinery, that's what he wants to do with sugar. And it's like a few more people like me who want to spot opportunities before everyone else does. We take position. I discovered that by the time I went to the market today, I discovered that many people are now bidding, that the bids are more than the ask. In other words, more people want to buy. This buying pressure beginning to. So I got some. I will also get some more tomorrow. So that's the secret to the market. So as an academic or whatever you are, save money, put it straight into the investment, and it does not matter how much. Don't say my salary is small, because the mystery of investment is compounding. Please, somebody type what I just said there. The mystery of investing is compounding, because the 5,000 naira that you put in today, I was just telling you about, see, if you put in 5,000 naira in Presco in 2020, that 5,000 naira that you put in 2020 would have gotten you 500 shares. Okay, would have gotten you 500. Today, that 500 will be worth 500 times 813. 500 times 80. Can somebody do that very quickly? That's like 40,000. That's 8,000 times 4 times 5. Is that correct? That's 40,000 naira. So 5,000 would have compounded in 5 years to 40,000. And that beats inflation hands down, beats even the devaluation hands down. So the mystery of investing is compounding, it's in compounding. So never say that the money is too small to invest. So start small. As an academic, please be very patient. I teach the 4 P's of wealth. The last P is patience. Forget about people who seem to be on the, so you might have that your 5,000 to invest, and then somebody might say, oh, I just put in 5 million. Don't worry, just face your, don't worry, don't compare. Because investing, wealth hates it. Wealth hates comparison. Don't compare. Don't say because somebody went and bought, I don't know which one they said is Spider. They said that one Yahoo boy bought recently, not very far from here. So he now buys Spider, and then you decide, okay, you are going to buy Spider. Your generator is it your generator? Your neighbor buys a big generator. And then you start putting your husband under pressure to buy because you want to be like them. Wealth hates it. All right. So slow down on your lane, face it consistently. Be patient. It's not been long. I started all over again, and I'm patient. My portfolio is very, very small, but I see it growing. So when I look at my portfolio, I'm not looking at what it is today, so that I'm not sad and depressed. I'm looking at what that thing could be in another 5 to 10 years. All right. So I'm going to be 60 later this year, in December this year. And I have a 10-year plan. So as an academic, have a plan, a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. If you have a 10-year wealth plan, just relax, be consistent, follow it, save consistently, invest consistently, monitor your portfolio consistently. And then finally, the other thing you can do is to look for side hustle. Many of you lecturers have a lot of spare time. Look for side hustle. Do something by the side. My parents were teachers, but they farmed. Okay, I'm doing a lot of side things. I'm not a farmer. My specialization is remote sensing. I'm actually a very highly technical person. Remote sensing and geographic information systems. Working with satellites, working with digital elevation systems and things like that. 3-dimensional GIS. So, but I'm doing side hustle. I've sold, I've made fruit juices and smoothies and sold by the street, dancing to the beat of music and things like that. So sometimes you might be too full of yourself if you're not very careful, and you miss opportunities that you can serve people, create value, and in the process, make money. Okay, so I hope that helps. So let's see other questions and comments. Yes, Innocent. Yes, financial market engulfs 95% of the world's economy. While other people, the labor market, the resource, the finished products, they're all struggling within 5%. That's why you see, in fact, the mass of humanity, the mass of humanity, they wake up every morning. That's why it's called 9 to 5. The mass of humanity. My goodness. I don't know how many of you live in Lagos. I don't know which other city I've been to that looks like Lagos. Johannesburg is bad, but it's not really as bad as what happens in Lagos. What used to happen, I think it's maybe because of the fuel cost now, transportation cost. Last time I was in Lagos, it looks like the hold up was not as bad as it used to be. But a couple of years ago, when I was in Lagos, I look over that bridge from my estate, going into Third Mainland Bridge by 5:30 a.m. 5:30, you know, it's bumper to bumper. And then some people leave their homes like 4 a.m. every single day. And they get to the office and sleep in the car park, in their car. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Is this too, am I being too imaginative? And they sleep in the car park until it is 8. Then they go. And then when they close, maybe they close at 5, Some people in Victoria Island wait until 9 p.m. because they feel that if they left at 5, they will still be in traffic at that 9. So they might as well just leave at 9 and all that. And people do that not for 1 week, but for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I had a friend who was working in one of the banks in Victoria Island, young man in his 30s, and he was already having serious high blood pressure. He was on Novask, he told me, like 5 or 10 milligrams of Novask. Do you know this guy left the bank? As he was talking to me, he had left the bank for 2 years. This man's health came back to normal, no more blood pressure, no more blood pressure pills. Why? Labor market. That's where everybody goes. That's where everybody's playing. But the guys playing in the financial markets, you won't even know them. Because the stock market is one place you can have ₦1 billion and nobody will know. And then they wait for you to finish going to work. And 10 a.m., they go to play golf. Why? Because while you are working for your money, their money is working for them, so they can afford to play golf. And then maybe in between playing golf, they just want to take a look at their portfolio. They just pick up their phone. Okay, Presco is doing okay. It's good today. Okay, that's fine. Okay, USCN. All right, you know what? Dangote Cement is doing well, so I'm going to move some funds from USC and another. Pip, 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 pam, pip, order, pip, and then he continues playing golf while the money continues doing the work. There are people living like that, but you don't know because they are not loud and they are not the type you see on Facebook, showing you their spider and G-Wagon. Foolishness. So everybody who has been following me, if there's one message I want you to get right in terms of your generational wealth creation is, please study the financial market. Start playing in the financial market. Start even small. Start learning. Remember, I've always told you that the most important thing is knowledge. That's why we are having the Financial Fitness Challenge. And I need you guys in the Financial Fitness Challenge, when we start meeting, ask all your questions. I'm going to be very, very detailed. Make sure you walk out of that place playing in the financial market, knowing everything you need to know to get started or to get better at it. The financial market will set you free. Type that in the comment section. Financial market will set you free. Okay. Now, what will set you free is not necessarily the financial market, it's the knowledge of the financial market. So you have to grow your understanding, grow your learning in all that. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I look at a few more comments and a few more questions. Are there any questions on Facebook? Okay. Yeah, the mystery of investment is compounding. Okay. Honorable Booker says, okay, I like your inputs. At a point, the stock exchange and our brokers went to sleep. Okay. I'm not sure that they went to sleep, but yeah, I get your point. Sam Ade says, in fact, I really love you. I love you too, Sam. If Nigeria can have 100 financial coaches like you, the poor people in Nigeria will be okay, numbered. Thank you. Those are very kind comments. And that's actually exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, because this country is so rich, is so blessed. And I know that the politicians are not managing it well, but these things are not for some reason. I prefer to work with things within my control. I prefer to work with things within my control. So things are bad, but things are not really as bad as they seem. But things are often as bad as we let our minds make it. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is the best time to be alive. I am telling you, this is the best time to be alive. The tools, the technologies, the insane opportunities happening every day, the wealth opportunities. When you talk about tech, you talk about AI. Can you imagine what it means that I'm in the village and I can buy Tesla in America without having to go there? Can you imagine what such power means? Can you imagine what it means that I can produce my palm oil here? And I'm able now with technology, with innovation in logistics, to be able to sell my palm oil to somebody living 1,000 miles away and even abroad. I was in Texas, with my wife a couple of months back. And then the African stores there, we were discussing about, my palm oil. And then they were saying that all the palm oil that they use there come from Ghana. I actually saw the palm oil. I've gone to a couple of African stores. Then we were also up in Colorado, and the yams that they were buying up there were also coming from Ghana. But when I came back, I said, wow, why are this is coming from Ghana? Why are the, Nigerian exporters not playing there? Somebody said, that's coming from Ghana, but it's actually Nigeria. I don't know how true that, but it's actually Nigerians that take it to Ghana, because Nigeria, according to them, makes it extremely difficult for Nigerian entrepreneurs. And I may not doubt that, to export their products. Then again, there are very serious, quality requirements that I think that they don't meet over here. So I'm just saying that this is the best time to be alive. Don't let anybody lie to you. And the biggest lie is when people tell you that there's no money in the system. There is. There is. You just need to know how to set yourself up for it. And then often it comes in trickles, it comes in drops and multiplies. So don't be looking for those big things. It just starts small and then it grows. All right, let's take a few more comments. And how can one study the financial market? Excellent question. Actually, let me show you a few websites. Let me show you a few websites where you can do a lot. All right. And then for some of you who have been looking for licensed brokers, let me also show you where you can find that. And all of you in the Financial Fitness Challenge, please register your investment account as quickly as possible. Register that, you're going to need it. The Financial Fitness Challenge is just next week. Okay, so there are sites, very good places that you can learn about investing. And of course, I have a lot of videos. I have more than 500 videos on my YouTube channel. So that might be a very, very good place. Come on, I want to share the screen. Why isn't this letting me? Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go do that immediately. There's a whole lot of education, including how to start. Then I've got a book that you can also, for absolute beginners, that you can also, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Zoom. It's sharing me. All right. How do we do this? I upgraded to the new iOS on my Mac. I think it has changed so many things, including the way that Zoom. Just give me a second. Come on, I'm not showing the entire screen. Desktop one. I'm not sharing the entire screen. I just want to share this. Okay. Let me show you. Let me just type it in the comment section. Okay. You can go to this ngxgroup.com. You can learn a lot there. Then the other place, actually, there's a video. There's a video that I have on YouTube that gives you a list of places you can go to learn. But the NGX group website is a very good place to start because they have some education there. Some stockbrokers also give you, there's another place called in, invest, invest, Investopedia or something. Let me see. Then there's investor.com. All right, investor.com, Investopedia, Investopedia, yes, Investopedia.com. So you can learn a lot from all these places. And the other good thing is when you register with a licensed stockbroker, many of them do have education. Many of them do have good customer service that can guide you. Then I would also encourage you to join a sort of group where they discuss wealth, they discuss entrepreneurship, they discuss investing. Because from there, just like we're discussing now, you can get lots of ideas, like what to buy, when to buy, and all that, while you also learn on your own. Okay, so I hope that is helpful. Musu says, how can someone manage 3 different kinds of business? Is it possible to manage 3 different kinds of business and be successful? Okay, I needed a little more context to that. But why 3 kinds of businesses? And yeah, I needed a little more context. I wish you were on Zoom so that you can give me some more context about 3 businesses, because there are people doing, Dangote has so many businesses, but I'm not exactly sure if you are Dangote. And then there are people who have different businesses and they are doing well. So it's not about managing different businesses. It's about first of all, why do you have those businesses? What's the model? How do they connect to each other? How do you structure that? Because it's the way you structure the businesses that will allow them survive. Are you running them as one business in 3, or are you running them, with different management teams? Do you have shared infrastructure and things? There are so many questions I don't know. So people have different businesses and they are doing well. So the question is, what toll is it taking on you? Why do you have to run 3 businesses? Because before you start a business, there must be a purpose to it. And then how did you structure the businesses so that you can do well with them? All right. So finally, what are your aha moments, everyone? We have just a couple more minutes. I would like to read out your aha moments. Okay, Zuka, we have one. Okay, the financial fitness group is 1. So it's one of such. And the other place is ProShare. You can subscribe to ProShare. And then there is Naira Metrics. You can learn a lot and get so much information from ProShare, from Naira Metrics. Listening to those news every day. Okay. When investing in MMF, Ziwa, you've been talking about this MMF. What exactly is it? Can you unmute and then tell us? Do you advise to invest in a package with fixed interest or the one? Tell us about this MMF, Ziwa. Unmute and talk to us. This is the 3rd time I'm seeing this question from you. Ziwa, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. What's MMF? What do you mean? Yeah.
My question is, in investing in a trust fund, like in a trust fund, they are like, I contacted my broker. She told me there is a package that has fixed interest, that is the umbrella, and the other one that has no, the umbrella one has like fluctuating interest, and the other one has a stable fix, like a stable interest. So which one would you advise, the MMF with a fluctuating interest rates, or the one with the stable interest rates?
A lot depends on your your investment objectives. Because if you're investing in a mutual fund. Okay, so I guess these people are playing in the money market fund. So if you're investing in a mutual fund, the risk is low and you can control the returns. So those people are doing so what they do, they pool your funds together and then they invest for you. They still invest in the stock market, or they find some other assets in indices that they invest in. So they manage that, and then whatever they make, they share with you. But of course, they will take their own fees and things like that. So it actually depends on your investment objectives. And then, are you doing this long term, or are you looking at a shorter term? Are you investing to exit and buy property, or what? So it all depends on you. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to that. Then it also depends on your appetite for risk. So those are the things you put together, and then you can put in there. Like the federal in Nigeria. I'm sure that is Kenya. In Nigeria, we have the federal government savings bonds. They do up to 17 or 18% for 2 years or 3 years. And then that money is a fixed interest because they pay you if you put in 1 million, and if the fixed interest is 20%, then it means that they will pay you 200,000 as interest on that money for 1 year. But they are going to pay you 4 times. So every quarter, they will pay you 50,000 naira until that instrument, kind of relapses, and then they'll pay you back your initial capital. So it all depends on you, what your investment objective is. So if you want some fixed income, you want income that comes in at some specific times, specific periods, fine, you can do that. But if you want something that's a little bit more risky and then variable earnings, it also depends on you. When they do very well, you will get a lot. When they when they don't do very well, you also lose. So that I hope that helps. So your appetite for risk will help you in determining which one to do. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
K-Bank says, my aha moment was when you spoke about why you are investing in Dank Sugar. Okay, yeah, okay. Victoria's aha moment, the labor market is not the only market. Fantastic. ETF and individual stocks, what's the difference between them? Exchange traded funds, sometimes you have a group of companies come together. You might have like all the banks traded as one index, or you have the entire stock market traded as one index. So you're not looking at it as individual companies. So sometimes you might have, like in Nigeria, I think that they have ASI 30 or something, the 30 best performing stocks. They are traded as one. That's an index. So you are not trading the 30 companies individually. You are trading 30 of them. The most famous one for most people trading in the US stocks is the S&P 500. So that's the difference. The ETF is a collection of individual stocks that have a particular definition. For instance, they are the 30 best performing stocks, or maybe they're the ones in the banking sector, a particular sector. All right. Okay. So on Facebook, Friday says, my aha moment is that the mystery of investing is compounding. Yeah, exactly. So do not wait until you have too much money, okay? Can you share your YouTube channel, please? Okay, in just a moment. I think that's, let's put it there. So some of the questions that I'm seeing here are already answered on YouTube. You can literally grow your wealth spending time on that YouTube channel because there's just so much there. So I've put the link on, I've put it on Zoom, and then I've also put it here. All right. So feel free to go there. This replay will also be available in another 1 or 2 hours. And then whatever question that we were not able to ask, please do ask on the YouTube comment section, and then I'll be able to attend to that. So I hope this has been very useful to you. Whatever happens, keep showing up. Do not be discouraged, and don't let anybody tell you that it is too late. Forget the past, forget the background. The future looks far much better. Just let's start today, one step at a time. Do not worry if you're not taking the big steps. Don't worry if you don't have the $1 million. It's okay, the little you have, that God will honor. Just start today. Make sure you do something with this information tomorrow. And then whatever happens, keep showing up. And I'll see you at exactly same time, same Zoom link. Save it tomorrow. Good night and God bless you.